Dear veterinarian friends, welcome to Dr. Vet channel by Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor and Head Veterinary Medicine. We have already seen osteomalacia part 1. Now we'll see osteomalacia part 2. In this part 2, we'll study clinical findings, treatment and prevention. Osteomalacia is very important disease of the bone of adult animals. In this presentation, we will see clinical findings of osteomalacia. Many a time, subclinical osteomalacia is observed where there is marginal deficiency of calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D, especially in high producing animals. May not show symptom, but if the clinician provide them mineral mixture, then definitely there is improvement in the milk production. So most of the high producing animals are at the marginal stage of osteomalacia. They require these minerals. This is a point to remember that osteomalacia is not always a clinical form. Most of the cases are subclinical form, may not show the critical symptoms. The symptoms are unthriftiness, weakness. Some of the animals exhibit pica. Pica is also called as technically allotriophagia, means eating substances other than normal food. That is called as pica. And this pica suggests deficiency of phosphorus. Giving treatment of phosphorus, few cases cure. There is non-specific shifting lameness, which is very common and a characteristic symptom also. Shifting lameness means the lameness jumps from limb to limb. Lameness in a forelimb, after few hours or next day on the hind limb, few hours or next day from right to left, left to right, like this. The pain shifts from one leg to the other. That is a common shifting lameness. Most common clinical findings are pathologic fractures or say spontaneous fractures of long bones. Because of demineralization, the bones become soft. The word pathologic fracture means automatic fracture without any exertion. While getting up or sitting down, also there is fracture. In advanced cases, the bone becomes so soft that for making a fracture, it may not require striking or fall. So that much demineralization is there in advanced cases. There is deformation of spinal cord. Clinically observed that spinal cord is a straight. There is curvature defect, maybe a concave mostly, sometime convex also, sometime bending on one side, sometime there is S shape. Clinician can observe many types of spinal cord defects. Continuing the clinical findings, not only there is bone deformity, but overall general calcium phosphorus deficiency leads to effect on the other organs, especially muscles. So there is weight loss because muscles are added to bones. Clinician observe limb deformities bending of legs. If clinician observe the conformation of the animal, conformation is not normal. It is observable. There is diffuse joint and bone pain and lameness. Enlargement of ends of long bones is also visible. Muscle weakness because of calcium deficiency. Calcium is important for contraction of muscle. There is difficulty in walking, bending of bones because the bone become very soft, and the bones do not regain their original normal shape even after they become normal. They may remain deformed. That that means the deformity remain for few months to few years to correct it, even if the bone become normal. The disease ricket and osteomalacia is much the similar, so treatment is also almost similar. Here we will see the treatment part of osteomalacia. Correct the primary deficiency. Primary deficiency means deficiency in diet, calcium, phosphorus, vitamin D. Enrich the diet with calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D. That is the easiest way. Additionally, clinician can give supplementation of calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D. Vitamin D should always be administered in conjunction with calcium supplementation because the pair of vitamin D and calcium work together in a body in a efficient way. Vitamin D is available from natural source sunlight. Sufficient exposure to the sunlight takes care of vitamin D, and it also helps in absorption of calcium also. After initial supplementation of proper diet enriched with calcium, phosphorus, vitamin D, animal with osteomalacia should be confined for several weeks. Very important because the bones are prone for the fracture. So slight movement or striking of the animal may cause a fracture. Thus, confinement with limited movement is advisable. It is indicated until the skeleton returns to normal. Response to the treatment should be monitored by clinician radiographically because response from outside seen may not be proper inside actually. So it response is confirmed by radiography. If primary treatment, that means diet is corrected, the response is very rapid and it is observed that response occur within 1 week. But even after 1 week or up to a month, the bones are still susceptible to fractures. So animals are kept confined with limited movement. Jumping, fighting, climbing, running must be prevented till the animal become normal. This is very important. Coming to the prevention, adequate intake of vitamin D and calcium in the diet, is sufficient for the adult animal to early recovery from the osteomalacia. Natural sunlight is available. Sufficient exposure is also sufficient to treat the osteomalacia case. Along with this, important thing is a regular light exercise. Animals should not be kept indoor for more time. Don't kept tied under the shade for a long time. Allow them to roam here and there. So regular light exercise strengthen the bone and muscles. Friends, share this information to veterinary students and veterinarians. Requested to subscribe this channel and to promote a veterinarian so that I can give the more and better information to veterinary and veterinary students. Requested to subscribe and see this channel frequently. Thank you very much for observing this video.